Yes guys, episode 1 of the Dubai YouTube video. Walking down marina today. First day at the marina. We've been staying in JVC, which is good, but I'm liking marina, don't you think?
I like it, yeah, but I don't know about living on.
I would live here, because I'll tell you why. There's actual shade, because the buildings are tall. So when you're going for a walk in the morning, the sun's not directly on you the whole walk, otherwise it gets too hot. That's the main reason for me. But it's lovely around here. Little update on how training has been going. Training's been good. We've been here 4 weeks. I've been meaning to get the camera out and vlog, but to be honest, when I'm training in Banus, I just want to go at it. To be honest, I just want to train. I'm in my element. I'm feeling good. I just want to knuckle down, train hard, and that's what I've been doing. So we're here for another week and a half. So I'm going to aim to put 2 big vlogs up. Tomorrow, obviously you'll see today's footage, which is just going to be a little bit of food, a little bit of this, what we're doing now, and then it'll probably roll into the training footage tomorrow. We might go dungeon. I've had a little bit of shoulder inflammation from last week's push. Just been progressing so fast. I've had a little bit of a niggle, but I've had some treatment, got some peptides on it, and we're pretty much feeling not too bad. It's been a week. It's been 8 or 9 days since I pushed. So, just gonna go dungeon tomorrow, do a push session there. Fucking hell, I'm out of breath after them stairs. It's not easy walking around at this weight either. And then, yeah, we'll get some footage and we'll see what's what. And you've also got to think of how much opportunity there is out here. There's so much opportunity everywhere. Like, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to live here. I don't mind the cold weather back at home, right? I like it. I'm looking forward to going back, you know, at Christmas, getting up early and it's freezing. I don't mind that. I don't really like the rain and that. You know, the days where it's pissing it down, it's gloomy, they're not enjoyable. But the cold days where the sun's out, it doesn't bother me. And this would get too hot for me 12 months a year. I don't want to be here 12 months a year. I want to do 8 months, 9 months here, and then 3 or 4 months in the UK. And that's what you can do when you're a resident here and you have a visa. I think it's only the UK that get funny about you going back. So you can have, if you have no ties in the UK, which we don't have a house, I won't have a motor, don't have any kids, you can get 90 days in the UK, which I'm assuming is on like a tourist visa. It's just the HMRC that get funny about it. Dubai don't care, they've got so much money, the government's got so much money, they literally don't care. So I was chatting with Jace and Ben Bray at the gym the other day, right? These two are probably in the top 5 of how much online coaches earn. They're caking it, right? They would be losing 50, 60% of their money per month if they were still in the UK. Why would you, if you have an online business, any online business, you'd come to Dubai. 0% tax. I think it's like 9% over 100 grand a year now, which is still nothing compared to 50%. And then a little bit of that. Like these guys, right, respects to Jason, Ben, big respects, because, you know, they've got some big businesses, and it just, when I'm chatting to them, listen, it's not unachievable. It's not. We will get there. Because that's just like these two that I'm chatting to, they've got the same work ethic, if not more work ethic than myself, which is saying something. These guys 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 grand a month plus. And they're just laughing, man. They're laughing, they're living the dream. So that's the aim, man. I don't need that much money. But, you know, even when you start online coaching and you start getting into 10s or 20s or 30s, you don't, and don't get me wrong, I'm not there yet, nowhere near, but you don't want to be in the UK for that. You literally, I've got a client who earns 30 grand a month back in the UK, like employed. He takes home like 11 and a half. That is a joke. You're losing 18 grand per month. Per month. You come here, you earn 30 grand a month, take 29k. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm just being dragged around with Tony because she never knows where anything is. She can't read the maps. You know, she says the coffee shop's here and she just walks in and out of places. So I'm gonna have to come off now and get us to the destination. All right, so just thought I would have a little bit of a chat about what's been going on since the last YouTube. Pretty much kind of lay out the scene of what's happening with training, where I'm currently at with everything, and how we're going to transition into the new year and then into prep. So for me, for those people that were following back 2 years ago, obviously I had the prep where I prepped with Cal in 2022. Got ill, and then I've kind of not ever really prepped since through choice, because 2023 we had a busy year. Tony was competing, a lot of other people competing. 2024, I went to start prep and then had a load of stomach issues. That was actually down to the carrier oil and using too much Primo, which I'll probably cover in another video. So the carrier oil was aggravating my stomach lining. The new gear that I'm running now, which is Raw Farmer, which all the boys at Rotherham use, Ultraflex. I think they're based around that way, like Big Nath and all that. That's who I got the contact from. We all use Raw, so trained by JP, they all use Raw, and that is probably the best gear that I've used. It sits well, it's not, there's no painful injections, the odd one or two if they're not done deep enough, but I've literally had no issues. Blood work's been amazing, my health's been great. So I went to start prep in 2024, things kind of went tits up. And then I was like, scrap that, I can't be asked to prep. I'm, you know, just coming out of this, trying to sort all this out. And I was like, right, when I wanna compete, I've been doing this long enough now that I'm not your average first timer, and I'm not looking to be your average amateur bodybuilder. The aim for me, quite simply, is to be a professional. So with that said, that's kind of why I've taken a long time off, and I've gone through multiple tidy ups or diets, multiple push-up phases, a few reverse diets here and there, which the most recent reverse diet was the best one I've ever done. And I'm having the most successful off season I've had at the moment. And that's all leading up into starting prep next year. So the aim is to continue to grow now. I've probably been growing for about 10 to 12 weeks. I'm gonna say 12. And I've got another 12 weeks of growing. So I would have had a full 6 months of being in a surplus, pushing gear up, and basically trying to grow a pro level physique. And when I was walking around Benoose, there's a few people in there that have literally said to me, you look like a professional bodybuilder. Do you know how nice that is? Obviously, I don't give a flying, you know, toss about other people's opinions. It just doesn't bother me whatsoever. But when someone gives you a little bit of a compliment and they don't even know you, they've like these two guys literally just see me in Benoose. Like, you know, like where you can see when someone like looks at you and you don't know what the reason is, but when they then, like a few days later, they said, oh, like they give you compliments, you know, general bro compliments. You look massive, blah, blah, blah. I wish I could be like you, blah, blah. You look like a pro bodybuilder. For them to say that, and I've not even stepped on stage, now they're at a good level themselves as well. They're not just bums off the street, do you know what I'm saying? So they know what they're talking about. And I don't know, I feel a bit weird. Like sometimes I feel very confident that I've got enough size to compete at a pro level, because we've got pros at home in factory gym, back in Essex. I understand classic is different to open as well. You know, classic pros aren't that big, in my opinion. Like a lower level classic pro. I'm not talking top 20 at the Olympia. Even like the open pros that I speak to, that I know, I'm trying to get to a level where you look at them and you think, do you know what, I'm not far off. And that's just the size element. That's just the size and the thickness and the density. Now, this video is not me sitting here trying to blow smoke up my own arse, but I'm just giving you like how my head is thinking, because it's good to see. I see everything from two perspectives. There's always two perspectives. There's always a but, like not in a negative way. So like, I'll see maybe some open pros at home and I'll think, or it might not be at home, it might be on Instagram, whatever. And I'll think, do you know what, I'm not that far off. Like, I feel really confident. But then other days it'll be like, I don't know if I've grown enough to be at a pro level. But I think everybody gets those self-doubts. And those self-doubts don't affect me. They're just like little thoughts. To be honest, the main thoughts I have are positive. I feel like I'm going to absolutely smoke next year, because I'll tell you why. Not because I'm arrogant, not because of this, because of that. Because I know how relentless I've been. More so in the last year, but how relentless I've been after being ill in that show. And I said to myself, when I want to go on stage, it ain't going to be to do an amateur show and just win that and then that's it. I might as well take the time off, build the muscle, which takes years, to be able to do my first show, and then soon after, within say 3, even if it's 6 months, turn pro. And then, you know, hopefully, well, next year I'll be 29, then I can reassess what I want to do from there. Like, I will want to do a pro show. I'm not just turning pro just for business or just to say I've got a card. I'm in this game. Like, I love bodybuilding, and one day my bodybuilding career will be done. It's not even started yet, technically. The competitive, you know, element anyway. So, yeah, overall, 95% of my head is like, we are going in next year. I'm really happy with the progress I've made this off-season. Again, though, when you diet down, you realise like you haven't got as much muscle as you thought. So, but the idea is, in this next 12 weeks, is to get so big that even if I look like I lose a bit of tissue, it's not an issue. So the plan is to keep pushing until I'm currently coaching myself and have been for about 2 months, and that's a decision I made because I feel like I want to prove to myself that I can do the off season on my own, which I know I can, and I know I can do at least 90% of the prep on my own, because I want to do that to prove to my current clients and my future clients that I can do that. I'm grateful for the knowledge that Cal's given to me, but I feel like I'm on another level now with my own mind and my own knowledge and the work that I've put in. It's not just in the gym, but in terms of, you know, improving my own knowledge at this game as well, which has mostly, you know, a lot of the top knowledge has come from Cal, Dr. Dean, etc. So I'm grateful for those people. Don't get me wrong, the last 4 to 8 weeks of prep, if I need a second lot of eyes, I'll jump back on with Cal. Like, I'm not saying I'll never go back with him. I'm just saying I'm going to do the majority of it on my own and really prove to myself, like, I can get 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out, like, do the rest of this off season, grow as much on my own with, you know, still checking in on my own every week, still doing my own data and all that. Obviously we're out here at the moment, so we are enjoying ourselves a little bit more, but the plan is to come back. I'm going to do, so I'll run you through up until the show. So the shows are likely going to be August, September, October. So that means now we're currently 4th of December. So I've got 2 more weeks out here, eating, growing. I'm staying on cycle till around, I believe, March, end of March. So it would have been a long 20 week cycle, 22 week cycle, wherever it is. All of that growing basically. But I'm going to get back from Dubai. I'm actually going to do a 4 to 6 week tidy up, which is a little bit longer than I thought I would do. But what I'm going to do is in the next push up is barely gain any body fat. Like at the moment, I'm sitting around 115, 116. This is the best I've looked at this weight ever. However, I don't need to be here. So I think I'm going to get down to 107, 108. You know, drop that initial 2 key of fluid and glycogen. Get to 108, 107 and just hold around that. Max I'll probably push up to is 110, 111. Like hold in a better condition than I do now. Because the issue for like, it's not, because I feel like I've built the size, like I need a good starting point for prep. That's more important than building more size. More size I still need, but the starting point for a good prep is the ultimate goal. So I'm going to get back to 4 to 6 week tidy up, which say takes us to end of January. I'm then going to do another 8 to 10 week off season, which would be put with the 12 weeks that I've just had. So it's 22 week off season. 10 weeks purely growing, not going to push my food too much. I'm not going to be eating like I've been eating out here, because at home we don't have many cheat meals. I might have like 1 cheat meal a week in off season, whereas out here I'm eating more. I'm eating a bit of chocolate here and there. Do you know what I'm saying? So 10 weeks of growing. After that 6 week ends, so end of January, start pushing again, Feb and March, but start pushing to a point where I'll probably recomposition. Won't gain any body fat and I'll sit around 107 to 110. That could be the wrong weight. I'm just giving you an idea of my visuals of, if I'm 116 now, I can kind of see how I look at a better 110, 107, 108. It will look better, tighter, leaner, but still as big and thick. And then I've got, obviously I haven't had the 2 bro show dates. We've just had the PCA. I'd love to do a PCA first timers, and then I need to do a 2 bros regional, and then a 2 bros pro qualifier, and then going abroad for the IFBB pro qualifiers if needed. But my aim is for the end of the year, because they have a UK, or 1 or 2 UK pro qualifiers, one being September, one being October, but we need the dates for the 2 bros to come out. So from 10 weeks to the end of January takes you to mid-April, start of April-ish. I'll start prep around start of April. Little pre-prep phase, whatever, if I need it. So that's the thing, by doing the tidy up and then having a 10-week push, like I could make that tidy up 2 or 3 weeks, but the reason I'm doing 6 weeks is to get in an even better position to then push again, and then I don't think I'll need a pre-prep phase. I'll be ready to go straight into prep. So that's why I'm doing it like that. There's multiple ways to skin a cat, and I feel like that's the right way for me. So then I'll start prep until the first show. I'm going to give myself at least 20 weeks, maybe 22 weeks until the first show, and then it'll be like 24 weeks, 26 weeks, 28 weeks for the following shows. And the aim is to win a PCA first timers if the PCA dates fall in line with the 2 bros. If not, I'll just do maybe a normal PCA, which is not a first timer. However, I will obviously be a first timer there. Hopefully win that. Go to the 2 bros. Hopefully win a regional. And then, if I'm being delusional, so be it. But hopefully win the pro card at the end of next year. I don't know how I look absolutely peeled. I've never been there, especially holding this amount of tissue. And like I said, like all the positive comments that are coming my way, and everybody at home that's really supportive and saying, you know, you're going to smash it. And yeah, okay, some of them are just being nice and friendly, but the people that are in the competitive game, maybe they're the ones to listen to and take a positive note off those people. Like I've got other pros telling me you're going to smash it. So if they're saying it, that's good enough for me. And I know Cal had a lot of faith in me as well. He wouldn't have worked with me as long as he did. And I'm sure I'll go back to Cal when my head starts to go wobbly. I'm like 6 weeks out and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not lean enough, because that's going to happen to absolutely everyone. But that's basically the plan. for the next, I suppose, 10 months, 10 or 11 months. So I feel like I'm in a sweet spot. You know, I'm not, the amount I've been eating out here, I'm not mega fat. My metabolism's the best it's ever been. My strength is the best it's ever been. This cycle's the best cycle I've done. It's the most consistent I've been, obviously apart from the food, because we've been having the cheat meals. But when I get back, like outside of Dubai, I literally nailed my reverse. That's something I've never really done, which is, you know, like I haven't needed to, because I suppose when you're still in shape, you're like, you don't have to nail things. But when you've got a show, you're like, I need to be perfect. And nailing that 8-week reverse to come out here, that's why I've stayed lean out here. I've literally been eating wherever I want, and I've managed to stay lean. It's crazy. Leanish anyway. So that's the plan. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's any need to basically run into anything else. I'm just going to try and document, like once I've got the camera going and I'm talking this all right, it's just, sometimes I like just going in the gym and training. I don't like setting my camera up, I prefer having a videographer with me, but we obviously haven't got that out here. But when I'm home, Stephen will be videoing, and I'm sure we'll document the whole journey. So what would we call this journey? First timer to pro, I suppose. And again, people will always criticise you and your goals, but it doesn't matter, man. They're speaking from a, don't get me wrong, someone can be absolutely delusional about something. If there was a first timer that's never competed, never even lifted a weight, and he's like, I want to go pro, well, that's delusional, because you've never even trained. Like, but for me, what I'm trying to say is, I've been training for years and years. You know, I have a base behind me, and now it's time to basically reveal what's underneath. And I'm still going to grow another probably 4 kilo, 5 kilo of tissue to the show, because I'm going to grow in the next, you know, 50% of this off season, and I'm also going to grow on prep. So yeah, maybe another video will run through my cycle and stuff like that if people want to know that. I suppose that's all, the only thing people care about really, how much gear you take. But yeah, so we're going to train at Dungeon tomorrow for the first time. As I said in the video earlier, I had a bit of shoulder inflammation, but a week of BPC and it's feeling all right. But if it feels, you know, even if it feels off tomorrow, I'll be able to get through the session and then it will feel inflamed after. So as long as I can train push out here twice more, we've got a week and a half left, I don't care. I'm resting when I get home anyway. I've got a deload when I get home into the 6-week tidy up. Literally picked up some T3 and Clen from the guy out here so that when I land, I can start that straight away. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Obviously, the next few clips will be tomorrow's session, but this is just today. It was us walking around and just chatting. I just wanted a bit of a chat. And just really talking about the self-doubt and stuff like that. Like, maybe I will go into that a little bit now, because self-doubt kills more people's lives than you can ever imagine. Like, conversations I've had with men who are close to me, some of them are close to me, the way they doubt themselves affects their whole life. It affects family, it affects work, it affects choices they make, it affects the environment they stay in. I can't tell you enough how important it is to have confidence. And I don't know what's changed, because I used to have no confidence at all, ever. But this last 3 or 4 years, like, I'm on a different level. I'm a different animal with work, with whatever you want to call it, mentality, spirituality, whatever. Nobody, no other person can make me doubt myself. No other person can make me feel unconfident. They can't touch me. And that, again, it sounds arrogant, but it's not. Like, I don't know how I've got to that, but all I know is that confidence comes from inside, and that's it. You can go around driving all these Lambos and all that and still feel like shit. It's literally about how you think about yourself and how you feel about yourself on a daily basis. You need to improve the relationship with yourself and your confidence. Right, so we're heading off to Dungeon in about 10 minutes. Pink Monster on deck. This is the 50 gram of carb one, Pipeline Punch. Because appetite is completely shot out here now. So literally, it's just because of the cheat meals. I think the higher fat meals slow digestion down, make you feel sluggish. To be honest, I can't wait to just kind of get home and get my appetite back. So I'm just having things like drinks and that have got extra carbs in them. I've had some sweets pre-workout, or usually I'll have a cookie or a muffin, croissant, etc. Just to get some extra food and calories. You know, I'm maintaining around the same weight on what I'm doing. I don't actually think I'm hitting maybe 4.5K, 5K a day, because it's generally one big meal. With all the little things like add up, like that's 200 calories that can. You know, sweets 150 calories, cookies 350 calories. So yeah, it does add up. It's probably not as high quality of food as I would have at home. So as soon as we get back, we can get back to that. But I will say training performance has been absolutely flying. Like, I have never gone into sessions, even though I'm probably on less carbohydrates, because I'm probably on more fat. You know, I've got my proteins there as a baseline. I've got probably a high fat going in, because if I have a pizza or if I have a cookie or a muffin, it's generally more fat than it is carbs. So I'm probably doing like 450 to 600 gram of carb a day, but it could be anywhere up to like 150 fat or 180 fat. That's where the calories are coming from mostly. You know, like eggs, avocados, salmon. Most places that you eat out are high fat, which is therefore higher calorie, because there's more calories in fat than carbs. So with that said, I still feel the strongest I've ever felt. Like in the gym, I'm taking the mick out of some of these weights that I'm touching. That prime incline at Benoose, I cannot believe what I'm pushing on that. Like, obviously for me, I'm not saying that I'm strong on that, but like compared to what I've done previously in the UK, it's exactly the same machine. And I've just been lumping weight on there. I think I got 3.5 plates in the middle and a 20 up top for a top set, which is really good for me. And so today, obviously, we're going dungeon, so there's going to be loads of push gear. I think they've got a flex chest press. They've got a Cybex version 2, which factory have, like, you can squat on it, press on it. I don't know if I'll incline press on it today. I think I'll just use some machines. They've got a hammer strength plate loaded. I'm just going to see what's what. But regardless of what I do, everything I touch just feels light. Obviously, I haven't pushed since last Monday, so I have to see how to shoulder it. Like, the shoulder feels fine right now. It's just how it goes during the session. So I haven't pushed since Monday. We're at Thursday, so that's what? 9 days rest. I've hit arms, I've hit legs. I haven't hit back. Hopefully I can hit back tomorrow. So yeah, I had some blood work done this morning as well, which is really good. 140 quid, right? And it's better than the Medichecks at home. It's not as good as the Atlas, which I paid 400 quid for, but 140 quid, turned up there. I got bloods taken this morning. I booked it last night. I got the bloods taken this morning at the clinic instead of getting them to come here. And then they'll be with me tomorrow. Like, compared to at home, everything is just easy. Like, in the UK, everything is hard work. No matter what you want done, even if it's private, it takes ages. It comes in the wrong thing. Someone gets something wrong. Someone passes on the wrong message. The NHS and shit like that, they are absolutely terrible. Whereas out here, everything's just on WhatsApp. Like, I can WhatsApp anything to me right now. Blood work, WhatsApp, booked within half hour. You know, I need food or drink, WhatsApp is here within 30 minutes. And it's just ease. Like, even my friend out here who got a house, he said he did it through WhatsApp. He messaged a guy, he was like, look, I'm looking to buy a new apartment. Within 7 days, he was living in a new apartment. Signed, paid, done. In the UK, to get a mortgage takes you like half a decade. Who wants to get a mortgage in the UK anyway? Fucking are terrible back there. Anyway, big session coming up. Let's get it.
There we go. So, Tony on the vlog. This is the best famous bit. No, so yeah, we're just arrived at Dungeon. So this is actually our first time here. bearing in mind we've been here 2 years, we've never actually tried Dungeon. We did want to try it last year, didn't we? But we didn't end up getting around to it. So yeah, I'm going to train glute and hams. Luke's going to train titties and shoulders.
And arms.
Get some big tits.
Yeah, might get some photos after, maybe.
Yeah, you will.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he is going to get some photos. But yeah, got here all right. Now we've actually got a sat nav in our car, which is fantastic because the last 2 years I have a really shit sense of direction and got us lost probably
thousands of times.
So yeah, only took us like 25 minutes from JVC, which is actually all right because if you think about it, we usually go from Essex, well, where we live, Billericay, to Factory, and that takes us about half hour anyways. So we do that daily, so 25 minutes, and the roads are absolutely clear here. It's literally one straight road, so yeah.
Basically, Evolve is Benoose because that takes 20 minutes. And then Dungeon is Factory because that takes like 25-30 minutes. So this is the buy version of Evolve from Factory. And Dungeon's got a lot of good equipment, and they don't play no music. So it's just, you can hear the weights clanging around.
I actually like that.
It ain't influencery like Benoose. I love that atmosphere in Benoose. For a lot of people it's overwhelming. I'm used to it.
Someone called it the Hollywood of bodybuilding, which is actually so true. But you kind of just get used to it. Like what Luke just said, the first time can be overwhelming. Like, I remember the first time that I went in there, I was you get a bit taken back by it all, but it is literally just people in there. Majority of the people obviously want to train. They love bodybuilding, they love lifting, etc.
And 90% of them don't know what they're doing anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, once you go in there and you look around, you think, fuck me, at least I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And
you get over it, like you're in there for yourself and you just kind of get your head down into a session. And once you get chatting to people as well, everyone's really friendly. Probably more so than in the UK, like way more friendly. People in the UK and London are just...
It's because everyone's happier here, they're all depressed at them. You know, I don't blame them. The Dungeon's a bit more like quieter vibes, so we'll see. I think his name's Abdullah that owns it. He seems like a nice guy. He's into his gym. He's strong as hell himself. You get a couple of the boys that do YouTube down here as well. Do you know what I mean? They like that because it's quiet. So I'm gonna go on an annihilate push. Let's go and do it. Literally about to wrap up a push session. As you can see, we've done flies. The fly set you actually saw was a very light set. I forgot to actually start filming at the beginning, but that Body Master chest fly was unreal. That and the Prime is the best pec decks I've used. Went into 2 pieces of flex, the incline and the flat. Very good, very nice movement. Smooth. I've never used those bits of kit. Smooth on the shoulder for me. Good pec contractions. I couldn't say which one was better. They were both as good as each other, the incline and the flat. Then I did, Sudex Smith, so 3 plates for like 9. And I'm actually letting the bar come higher up than usual, more towards the clavicular. You know, people say that's wrong, flaring your elbows too much. When you're an advanced lifter, I look at Jay Cutler do the incline bench. Elbows are flared. Technique, you could argue, in today's age, you could say it was terrible. But for him, look at the pecs he had. And I know we can't say that about all these old school bodybuilders, but not every movement has to be an inch perfect. If you are a new lifter, 100%. Like when a new client comes to me, I want their training to be like elbows in, down slow, pause, press, or squat down 3 seconds, get the angles, because you need to learn it. When you're an advanced lifter like myself, I can adjust now and see what feels better. I can connect a lot more with that upper pec. Instead of letting the bar come down to where it usually would be correct, just above that nipple on the incline, I was coming really high, and do you know what? I did 3 plates, it felt lovely. And then as you saw, I did like 3 and a 5 and got like 3 or 4 reps. By that point, I've done, loads of pressing. Just doing a bit of tries now. I don't really want to get the kit off, feeling feeling fluffy, and there's a lot of good bodybuilders here. I ain't that bothered. I don't mean that seriously, but we'll see. I'm just going to finish with pull downs, maybe some overhead extensions, maybe a bit of core work, and then we'll see what's what. But overall dungeon, absolutely unreal. Abdullah let us train for free on a day pass, both me and Tony. Absolutely lovely guy, very nice of him. So we didn't pay a penny, and I've had an unreal session. You know, we've been at Banús for 4 weeks. I love Banús, but this is proper old school bodybuilding. This is like Evolve back at home, and similar to Factory as well, but definitely like Evolve. Look at the pictures of Dorian, Kevin Levrone, Ronnie. Whilst there's no music, all you can hear is the iron clanging about. It's absolutely amazing. And if you want music, just pop your headphones in. So, real good gym. And thank you again for letting us in, Abdullah.